there was a citation in a book that we had, and I think he probably showed us the medals when we were very young, but, you know, we're a family of 3 little girls, and frankly, Army stuff wasn't anything that we were terribly interested in. But he never really talked about his service at all. You know, he mentioned little things, you know, like I told you about going to communion in the church in Strasbourg that had been burned. He mentioned that. But he really didn't mention anything that he had done. Somebody said to me once when we were relatively young, oh, he was like the Audie Murphy of Lockport. And frankly, I at the time didn't know who Audie Murphy was, but I think he was some sort of hero in the war. They had a parade for him after he came home. He was in the VFW. I think that's when he got his Distinguished Service Cross. I brought one to school, the Purple Heart, and lost it on the way home. I brought it for show and tell. My parents were not that upset with me because I was a good girl and they just figured I made a terrible mistake. But years later, my father-in-law got one on TV. He was actually a prominent policeman in the Buffalo Police Force. He got his purple medal on TV, and my father looked at me because we were watching the news and said to me, gee, I wish I had mine. It makes me very sad. And when we found out about him getting this medal, the lady that I was talking to from Washington said, you know, maybe this is your father's way of saying to you, Patty, don't worry, it's no big deal, I'm getting a better one now. So it makes me feel a little better. He was very honored to get the medals that he got. He was very patriotic. We always had a flag in front of our house. You know, when we were little, we remember him marching in the parades. But, you know, he was wounded during the war, so once I think he got a little bit older, it was just very hard for him to walk.
In some of these cases, the thinking is that this is a, you know, Hispanic people, Jewish people. They may have just been like pushed out of contention just because, you know, someone didn't want to give the medal to a Hispanic or Jewish person. Do you have any sense of what it was in his case?
I don't remember. I don't think he ever said that. Yeah. And we never thought it. I mean, he got oodles of medals. I mean, I think he was proud to do what he did. Mm-hmm. You know, over the years, he was always a very hard worker. You know, I think he was raised to think that, you know, to always do your best. And, you know, worked as a meat cutter when we were little. He had his own meat market. It burned down. He worked at Harrison Radiator, which was a part of General Motors in Lockport. Immediately got another job. He was a good provider for us. So I think he just, you know, when he was in the war, same thing. I think he just felt this is his job. You know, when things got bad, he stepped up because I think that's how he was raised. You know, to try to do his best.